So I want to talk to you guys. I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth.
Should have been a clue that anyone that inspires that level of crazy probably shouldn't have gotten out of dating phase.
Y'all, so it looks like the Gabrielle Union versus Dwyane Wade situation is getting even more chaotic because Dwyane Wade is turning the tables and spilling some piping hot tea of his own on Gabrielle. Now, we've all been hearing rumors of Gabrielle exposing Dwyane Wade's secrets, like his alleged secret gay life and multiple affairs, right? Well, now Dwayne's clapping back and he's revealing some crazy stuff about Gabrielle. He's claiming that she was not only just mean to him, but allegedly aggressive towards him during their marriage. And that's not the only shocker he's got in store, because did he just hint that Gabrielle might be into women herself? Listen, this drama is giving some insanity, so we've got to break it on down.
Divorce, it's a matter of public record, and it had like maybe 24 hours before someone found it at the courthouse, and it was a news item. Incredibly painful and difficult when it's a public thing.
Okay, so let's get into this juicy tea of a drama. So Dwyane Wade is finally opening up about Gabrielle's embarrassing revelations, and it turns out that he's got some accusations of his own. He's pointing fingers back at Gabrielle, calling her the villain in their marriage and accusing her of being abusive towards him. Can y'all believe that? The stories he's sharing are seriously mind-blowing, and it does just go to show that not every relationship on social media is sunshine and rainbows. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, let me catch you up on the latest gossip. Now, last week we learned that Gabrielle Union and Dwyane Wade's marriage was on the rocks. Allegedly, things got so bad that Gabrielle was even consulting divorce attorneys, trying to figure out if they should patch things up or call it quits. Now, who would have thought that this perfect picturesque couple had such drama behind the scenes? Well, according to Gabrielle, the major reason for their issues was the fact that Dwayne couldn't keep it in his pants and kept slinging it around Hollywood, just for anybody who wanted a bite. Now, as bad as it sounds, him cheating on her is nothing new, because he's been doing that for his entire relationship, right from when they started dating. But one of the numerous side pieces spilled the tea back then, saying, "I too had my situation with Dwayne. Can't lie, he's great in bed, but I definitely would not take him seriously the way Gabrielle does. He sleeps with and flies bees out all the time. They like to act like they are Michelle and Barack, when in reality, they are not what they seem." She continued, "Every time some type of gossip comes out, they have to make an appearance to show the media how real they are. He's involved with many girls, and that's to say the least. And everyone that deals with him knows this. Either Gabrielle knows this and doesn't care, or she's playing dumb, which I find hard to believe." Well, it turns out that Dwyane Wade's romantic escapades weren't limited to just women. He allegedly had his share of encounters with the menses too. Now let me spill the tea. Dwyane Wade didn't discriminate when it came to who caught his attention, and he was just as open to men as he was to women, allegedly. Now, these whispers about Dwyane Wade's secret encounters with men have been floating around for a good long time, and the rumors have only grown stronger over the years. But truth be told, not many people paid attention. I mean, he's been married to 2 women, and he even had a child with another woman, so that should count for something, right? Well, it appears that some people now believe he used these relationships with women as a cover to protect his real sexuality, fearing that his secret would be exposed. I mean, how many openly gay men do you know at the top of the NBA? Not many, right? Okay, so let's circle back to the break baby situation. Some folks think the reason Dwayne had a child shortly after the breakup was to try and win Gabrielle back. I know it sounds crazy, but using a baby to convince someone to come back? But listen, hear me out so I can break it down for y'all and make it make sense. It turns out that the reason Gabrielle and Dwyane Wade called it quits in the first place was because Gabrielle had some strong suspicions that Dwayne was keeping secrets about his sexuality. She was just not having it anymore. So Dwayne got together with his longtime girlfriend, AJ Matoyer, and within a few months, she was expecting a little baby. Shocking, right? But here's the head scratcher. Gabrielle decided to take Dwayne back not long after the baby news dropped, and it didn't quite add up why she would just do that so quickly after the baby bombshell. bombshell. But the logic wasn't giving logic. But according to the insiders, Dwayne strategically had the baby to convince Gabrielle that her suspicions were unfounded. And once she had what she believed was the proof, she took him right on back. She also spoke about the hurt in an interview where she said, "It should go without saying that we were not in a good place at the time when the child was conceived, but we were doing much better when he finally told me about the pregnancy. To say I was devastated is to pick a word on a low shelf for convenience. There are people, strangers I will never meet, who have been upset that I have not previously talked about that trauma. And even after untold amounts of therapy, I'm not sure I have them now." Now this explains why she never seemed to acknowledge Dwayne's other son Xavier and preferred to act like he just didn't exist. But have y'all ever wondered why Dwayne is the best dad to his 3 kids, but Xavier hardly gets to see him outside of a TV or Instagram? That's because allegedly, Xavier didn't fit the picture-perfect family that Gabrielle and Dwayne were aiming for. But wait, there's definitely more. Aside from all the drama surrounding Dwayne's sexuality, there were plenty of other wild things going on in their marriage. Like how they split their bills right down the middle 50-50, and Gabrielle spilled the tea about that in an interview. You'd think a superstar NBA player like Dwyane Wade might foot the bills differently, right? But no, they've been keeping it 50-50 equal.
It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work.
But y'all, why is there still more? Dwayne spilled some more juicy details in an interview. Turns out it was Gabrielle who pushed for this equal division, all because of something Dwayne said during a heated argument that left her feeling seriously uncomfortable.
We decided together, because I think I said one time when we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, "You will never say that to me again when it's something that we share." And so my wife was like, "That when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again." Wow.
Now fans couldn't help but see Dwayne as the bad guy in this saga, especially when they learned that he let Gabrielle split the bills equally, despite his much higher income. It left people wondering why he didn't just contribute more when he clearly had the means. Now this whole financial aspect had folks taking Gabrielle's side and rallying behind her when the marriage started to unravel. But hold on to your butts, because Dwayne Wade's side of the story is giving us some major plot twists. It appears she might have had us all fooled with her sob story, because based on Dwayne's latest revelations, it looks like he's the victim here, not the villain that we initially thought. Now before we get into that Misstee drama, can we please talk about the fact that Gabrielle sometimes made some weird statements that made it come across like she didn't really respect Dwayne? Like the time she said, "The biggest difference between this and the last marriage will be a prenup, at my insistence. When you have your own stuff, you don't need to worry about anyone else's stuff. So everyone should just go into the relationship knowing I'm here for you and you're here for me." And the reality is, I've never seen Dwayne balance a checkbook, so I gotta protect my stuff. It's the wave of the future. Now I know that prenups are generally a smart idea, but the way she was talking about Dwayne kind of suggested that she didn't respect him all that much. But we're not done with these gay rumors, because remember when Jaguar Rice spilled some piping hot tea about Dwayne being on the down low, regularly throwing some wild gay pool parties at his house.
Guess it just moved over to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there, all ass naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking shit about Boosie.
Now you gotta hand it to Jaguar, cause she's the queen of spilling this crazy behind the scenes tea. And no one has ever tried to drag her to court, so I guess she's talking about some real stuff here. Her latest revelations have folks even more suspicious about Dwayne's secrets, taking the drama up a few notches. And to add to the fire, just last week, the notorious gossip blog Dwayne dropped a bombshell of its own, revealing Dwayne's little rendezvous with yet another lady. Dwayne wrote, "Dwayne Dwayne is very close to a woman, not Gabrielle. He was spotted getting very close to her, spoke to her very intimately while I was there for 2 hours. Gabrielle also has some interesting posts on her Instagram. When clarity, truth, and transparency are present, there's only room for evolution. Gabrielle just posted on her Snapchat a pic of her daughter. I'd do anything for her peace. They also added, somebody else messaging me that Dwayne keeps posing with the kids and not with Gabrielle. Gabrielle has only been posting with their daughter and not their other kids. An insider said they will be like Will and Jada. If they ever separate, they will keep it quiet and live their separate lives, but keep a united front for years if necessary. Now, according to some reports, the person Dwayne was seen with wasn't exactly a woman, but a male cross-dresser. So it seems that Dwayne is still keeping his options open. And this might have been the breaking point for Gabrielle, leading to their split. Even though they put on a united front for their daughter, they stopped wearing their wedding rings, which suggests that things might have gone seriously downhill. But as I mentioned earlier, Dwayne isn't holding back and is firing back at Gabrielle's claims. He's making some bold allegations of his own, claiming that she's been having her own affairs and secret relationships with other men. However, she's been a bit more discreet about it and managed to keep it under wraps. Oh, and remember those pool parties Jaguar spilled the tea about? Well, Dwayne is now claiming that Gabrielle was also part of these events, and some were even her idea because she also has a thing for women. Now, it's crazy how these rumors had Gabrielle quick to air out Dwayne's alleged infidelity in the media while keeping her own secrets behind the scenes. But hang on, cause this drama doesn't end here. According to an insider, it turns out that Gabrielle has quite the temper and has been known to get physical with Dwayne when they're mad or have a heated argument. She's smart enough not to leave any visible marks, but this insider claims that she's always been somewhat aggressive towards Dwayne and always plays the victim card. Now, I had to do a double take when I heard this tea because it's just kind of crazy. We all had this illusion that the relationship was picture perfect. The fact that they're both cheating on each other, getting into some wild parties, and exploring other relationships just doesn't sit well with this whole wholesome family image they've been trying to project in the media. Now, this explains why they've gone to such great lengths to keep their secrets under wraps. And if their marriage hadn't broken down, we might have never even learned about all this juicy tea that they spilling in the media. And of course, you know the streets been out here talking. They've been saying all sorts of stuff like, I knew it was a reason I never gravitated towards Gabrielle Union. She's a mean girl. Gabrielle don't play brand new. You knew and accepted it until you didn't. Gabrielle made all the wrong moves in that relationship. She confessed to being a mean girl, gossiping about other women, and sleeping with other women's men or husbands. I wish Gabrielle to take a break, move on from the very dirty Dwayne, and cleanse. From there, she can really have a fresh start. And the rumors have been circulating for years, the same way that rumors were circulating about Dwight Howard, Puffy, and Will and Jada. These relationships are shams. Whew, this is a wild and crazy situation, but I need to know what y'all think about all of this, because it's crazy. What do you think about Dwayne exposing Gabrielle right back after she spilled the tea on him? Do you think that he's right to do that, or do you think he's just being vindictive? Drop your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.